Big welcome back here to the 20th running of the Passion for Speed Festival. Day 2 here just outside of Pretoria. Problems. Vaughan Hills being pushed to the sideline. That is not a good start. In a similar vein to what we just saw with Suzuki Albertson's Lotus Challenge. Looks like one of our top contenders having to be pulled to the sideline there with the number 11 car. Rugged SA entry has been pushed onto the rugged side of the inside of turn 3 as the big field of DOE quality parts, Formula V's, let me get my time in there quickly. Formula V's, proudly brought to you of course by Start My Car and DOE quality parts. Lendl Janssen will be on pole position. Alongside him will be Greg Wilson. Janssen with the new colours, of course, for the Bull Security team. Greg Wilson also with some new colours on that car by the looks of things. Behind them, Gert van den Berg in the DOE quality parts car, ahead of MD Bester. Those two in Raymer 2s. The first two cars, of course, are Forzas, the chassis that they run. Rugged SA, Peter Hills, looking good. Thumbs up from him. He's on the third row of the grid alongside his son Brandon. And then you've got the 7 car ahead of Vaughan Hills there, who would be, of course, in 8th place, but is now on the exit of turn 3. Theo Vermaak and Kyle Watt ahead of Eric Boyens. It's Roy Douglas and Yanni Geyser, David Austin, Marcel Bluchnout, Ernie Vermaak, and Clinton Kane that make up this field of Formula V, about to go to battle for the first time today. Kyle Watt looked like he's ready to go as well. Just waiting for a green flag at the back of the grid. I think we're still waiting for one car to come. And I think it possibly may be Vaughan Hills who's got going again. Well, they're not going to wait for him. They're going to go into start procedure right now. Revs are up. Lights are about to go on. As soon as they go off, we go racing and down towards turn 1. It's a good start from Lendl Janssen. Great start from Greg Wilson. Greg Wilson looks like he might have got the whole shot into turn 1 as this big pack of 17 Formula V's head down into turn 2. It's Lendl Janssen ahead there of Greg Wilson. Wilson into Gert van den Berg's path, and van den Berg has got through into 2nd place. Wilson down to 3rd. The Hills boys go side by side coming out of turn 2, and it looks like Brandon just ahead of Peter as they came out. Lenny Geyser coming through there as well, just in the background. Watch out for him as he starts to make his way through and trying to get into that top 5 fight if he can. That's usually where the big battle happens here in DOE Formula V. Now they come down into the braking point for turn 4 for the first time. 53 a bit further back there. Not quite the start that Roy Douglas wanted. He wants to be a little bit higher up there, and he's starting to close things down. Speaking of closing down, here comes Wilson. Wilson on the inside. Gert van den Berg shuts the door. Right underneath that exhaust pipe and the gearbox of the Bull Security car of Lendl Janssen. And Janssen just hanging on for now. Beg your pardon, as they come out of turn 7, heading down the hill. Here we go for some late outbraking maneuvers, possibly. Yeah, it's very late on the brakes. Gert van den Berg had a big look, but couldn't quite make it stick. And he's definitely looking dangerous as they cross the line and complete the first lap of 10. Van den Berg now applying pressure onto Lendl Janssen. Janssen soaking it up, no problem at all for him at the front end. Double victory at the previous round for him is definitely going to be a man to watch out for. As they come out of the round at Bekisa here at Swartkops, these cars are incredibly good. And as you can see just how good the packs of cars are as they start to get into those little packs to hunt each other down and have their own little in-house fights. Possible change for the lead. No, Janssen sees it coming, but here comes Wilson on the inside for 2nd place. Nearly caught Gert van den Berg out there as they came through turn 4. Now heading to the top of the hill. Van den Berg going to go and put that car in the middle of the track, not to give Greg Wilson any opportunity to get through. Starting to close things down there, Brandon Hills and MD Bester. Not too far off the back end of this pack of 3 at the front. Bester, Hills and Hills looking for a chance to possibly close that gap down. Here we go, under brakes. Gert van den Berg very late on the brakes into turn 8, side by side with the 91. But Lionel Janssen just says, no, you're going to have to work harder than that to get through on me. And Wilson says, yes, this is how hard you have to work. Coming into turn 1, going to try and do the same thing, and nearly getting up the inside there of Gert van der Berg. Very tight stuff between the two of them. Now on the brakes as they go into turn 2. It was Van der Berg on the inside line, so he was just able to hang on to that inside line and block the road for Greg Wilson to try and attempt the move up the inside. Very lucky to survive that one was Gert van der Berg, because Wilson had some big intentions there. Now they go on to the back straight. 2 cars coming in the background there are MD Vesta and Brandon Hills by the looks of things. Flying through there, and MD Vesta just behind Brandon Hills as they came up onto the back end of those top 3. They've left Peter in the background just a little bit. Now we saw this earlier on from Lotus. Can you drive around the outside in a Formula V? Gert van der Berg is going to try. He gets onto the rumble strip. Yes, you can. Oh, he must have been watching our live stream coverage and saw what Mackie Adlin did to Thomas Falconer and said, let me give that a try. Oh, there's a move that can be pulled off in a Formula V as well. So Gert van der Berg now is in the lead of this race with Lionel Janssen all over the back of him, looking to return the favour as soon as possible. And complete another lap in anger here for DOE Formula Vs. Great race action as per usual here in the Formula Vs. It's the four-wheel version of 600cc Superbike Championship racing. There's no doubt about it. These single-seater boys put on a fantastic show. And it's always so evenly matched. These boys putting down in the 111s at this point in time for the first 4 cars on track. And there's literally half a second between them. Here we go. I'm going to say this is the Adlam move around the outside, but it's the Van den Berg move in Formula V. You can see a little bit of room being given by the inside line there from Lionel Janssen. He goes for a... Oh man, so close. Very tight between the two of them as they come into turn 6, but he eventually makes it stick into turn 6 and secures that position. And that's definitely something that can be worked up. It's changed up again. Lionel Janssen has hit the front again. Can you believe this? They are chopping and changing at the front end here as per usual in Formula V. And it can be anybody to take the final victory. Janssen's pulled a small margin. It's about a car length. But he's almost instantaneously caught again by Wilson on the brakes. Wilson to second. Third place now, Gert van der Berg. Hills and MD Bester have joined the party. 5-way fight for the lead. Now they climb on the brakes once again for turn 2. Wilson trying to bridge that gap ever so slightly, but he can't just do it yet. He's got Van den Berg right on his tail. They've opened up another margin again, about a car length, yet again on MD Bester and Brandon Hills. Hills and Bester right behind them. Here we go. Change up for the lead, possibly into turn 4. Good drive from Wilson. Has he got what it takes on the brakes into 4? Yes, he has. They're side by side, almost touching wheels. Very close to touching wheels there. And in fact, again, so close. If you touch wheels in open wheel cars like this, they usually end up flying through the air. And now we're seeing Greg Wilson trying the outside line. There's grip out there. If you get it right, you can make it stick. But Lionel Janssen was well aware of what could happen. And this time did not allow it to happen for a second time. He had a bit of deja vu there. He was not going to let it happen for the second time. Janssen from Wilson. Wilson from Van den Berg. Further back, it looks like Brandon Hills now with big pressure from MD Bester. The 2 Titan Premium Car Care cars starting to close in here on the back end of the top 3. Lost a little bit of ground on that last pass. 6th place still Peter Hills. Theo Vermaak just behind him as he comes across the line. Vermaak there for DOE quality parts as well. See those DOE colors on those cars as they come through here. Very awesome stuff. As it looks like Brandon Hills is starting to bridge that gap now onto the back end of the 3rd place car of Gert van der Berg. Top 2 fighting hard. Janssen goes defensive into turn 4, holds that inside line. This time he's going to force Wilson around the outside and on the high side of turn 4. Compromise his drive ever so slightly. Now place his Bull security car right in the middle of the track. Only way to go is to go around. And Wilson tried that earlier on, couldn't make it stick. He's now going to try and come back on him. He cut backs on the inside. He's on the inside for turn 6. Oh, so close. No, that was incredibly close between those 2 wheels. Back right and front left of the 1st and 2nd cars almost touching. And because of that, they've just slowed each other up, and now all 5 cars are right there again. Brilliant stuff from Formula V again. Halfway stage reached, and just over the halfway as we complete lap 6. Coming across the line, here we go. Unbelievable action here from Formula V. They always put on a phenomenal show as they come down onto the brakes again for turn 2. MD Bester putting the pressure onto Hills. Hills applying the pressure onto Van den Berg, who does the same thing to Wilson. 4 cars behind, all looking for a chance to take the lead now from Lendl Janssen in the Bull security car. Looks like the top 2 have just opened up a little breathing room there between the third place car of Gert Van den Berg. Van den Berg now going defensive on Hills and MD Bester. Brandon Hills, good drive out of turn 4, trying to stick there with Gert Van den Berg and goes exactly where he goes. Round the outside, Wilson again on Lendl Janssen. Watch for the cutback this time, he might be able to get a stick. Yes, he has. He's gone on the inside line. Can he make it stick into turn 6? It's close again. This time he's a little bit further up the field, and there's going to be a really, really close battle through turn 7. They are side by side down towards turn 8. Janssen on the inside should have what it takes to take the line and make it easier for him, but he doesn't. He has to go defensive to try and keep out the attack coming from Gert Van den Berg, who runs onto the dirty stuff. A new leader, Greg Wilson, hits the front for the first time. Lendl Janssen now down to second, and on his tail is Gert Van den Berg. Behind that, the 2 waiting to pick up any pieces in Brandon Hills and MD Bester. The Titan boys are right there, and they are looking for a chance to be at the front by the end of this one. But they've got to try and get a little bit of extra pace to catch Lendl Janssen and now Greg Wilson, who's opened up about a car length. Wilson has put his head down and decided, let's hit this out of the way and get out of harm's way here. They're about to complete lap number 8 of 10. Half a lap to go to do that. Oh, problems. MD Bester slowing. MD Bester seems to be slowing, or was it Brandon Hills? It was one of the 2 Titan cars who seemed to be slowing out of turn 4. Wilson under pressure from Janssen. It's 33, Brandon Hills. MD Bester in 4th place. Hills slowing dramatically. Problems there for Brandon Hills. Something's gone wrong. Now on the brakes for turn 8. Into G&H Transport corner, and it's Wilson who hangs on. Lendl Janssen on his tail. Gert Van den Berg right there too, and a big gap now to MD Bester. It would have been Brandon Hills, but of course he's now dropped back. A lap or so from now, the checkered flag will come out. In fact, 2 laps from now. This is the penultimate lap that they've just started. Wilson, Janssen, Van den Berg, and Bester. Bester's not out of it yet. If something goes wrong with those first 3, he's still got a chance. That's why he's hanging in there. And you can see just how... Oh, look how hard he's trying. Lendl Janssen on the dirt. Oh, there's a touch. A massive touchdown into turn 4. Lendl Janssen coming off the dirt, and he slams straight into Greg Wilson. Janssen into the barrier, Wilson into the barrier. The 2 drivers out of this one, and unfortunately out of the race as well. I was just saying MD Bester has got a chance if something goes wrong, and that's exactly what happened. Kind of expected that with the kind of racing we've seen today. Gert Van den Berg has possibly been gifted a victory here if he can keep it all together for a lap and a corner. As they come down on the brakes to turn 8, let's catch our breaths there. It is Gert Van den Berg now who leads out. Have a look at this. Lendl Janssen gets forced onto the grass. He tries to bring it back onto the track, but there's no room being given there by Greg Wilson, and he tags the back. Front right and back left wheels tagging, and that sends Wilson slamming into the kitty litter and into the barrier. And Lendl Janssen tries to avoid the barrier. He just cannot turn the car in time, and he ends up in the tires as well. So it's a Bull security car of Lendl Janssen and Greg Wilson who have ended up in the kitty litter and in the tire barriers and the exit of turn 4. They're heading up there now. There'll be yellow flags for these 2, so there'll be no opportunity for MD Bester to overtake just yet. But he's still got 2 opportunities to have a go here. Can MD Bester steal this from Gert Van den Berg? They head to the top of the hill for the final time in anger. Green flags at the top means that overtaking is now able to be done, but I don't think MD Bester is going to be getting them. Out of turn 6, Gert Van den Berg hangs on now, possibly for the win. It was one that was gifted to him. It didn't look like he was going to be able to catch the 2 in front unless something went wrong, and it did. And that's going to give him a victory here ahead of MD Bester and Peter Hills. Flag is out, and Gert Van den Berg takes the first win of the day there for the DOE Quality Parts Volkswagen Raymer 2. Peter Hills is going to get 3rd place, a gifted one for him as well as he comes through there for Rugged SA. He's going to finish up behind MD Bester, his stablemate, as they come through there for the top 3. Behind them, Theo Vermaak is going to finish up, I think. No, just behind them, it's the 7 car coming through. And Theo Vermaak just ahead of that. 11 car of Vaughan Hills eventually got back on track and got going. It was the car that we were waiting for as we went to the start procedure, and a good recovery there from Vaughan Hills to still finish up in single digits, down in 9th place, or in 8th place actually, ahead of Kyle Watt and Marcel Buchnout. It's a confirmation of the top three. Kat van den Berg, as we're watching 64 Yanni Geyser come down and to complete his race. He takes the checkered flag just ahead there of Clinton Kane. But Greg Wilson and Lendl Janssen out of that with a massive, massive moment down into turn 4. I'm going to ask Paul if he can get it once again to have a look at it one more time before we wrap things up here. But it is Kat van den Berg, MD Bester and Peter Hills who have taken the top 3 honours for the first race of DOE Formula V's here at the 20th running of the Passion for Speed Festival. Let's have a look at that. You can see it's Lendl Janssen who just tries to go around the outside. He puts all 4 wheels almost onto the dirt, and as he tries to come back, he just tags the back of Greg Wilson, who didn't even see him on that outside line. He was expecting to come on the inside, and then Wilson just got sent as the front and back wheels tagged on those 2 cars, and they both ended up slamming into the side of the tyre barriers. Lendl Janssen, unfortunately, the man possibly at fault there, trying to drive around the outside of the back straight on the grass doesn't normally work, and it put the 2 cars out of contention and out of the race, giving the victory to Kat van den Berg ahead of MD Bester and Peter Hills. That's the kind of Formula V action we've seen all day. We're going to see some more of it later on in the day as our final race of the day at about 5 to 4. Come and join us for that. After an awesome race in the DOE Formula V's, let's catch up now with Kat van den Berg, your race 1 winner.
Kat van den Berg, you had the best seat in the house there.
Yeah, I think it was a good seat to have. From the beginning I knew it was going to be close, and it was quite some tight racing. And then I saw the move coming and I thought, it's closing. I'm not sure if they're going to make it. And unfortunately, looks like they're both okay and the cars are not too bad. So they'll be back in the second race. But good for us, good for the championship, good points. And thanks to our sponsors, DOE and Start My Car. I think it was an awesome race.
All the best for race 2, mate.
Thanks, man.
Keep your nose clean.
We're going to try.